My dear friends, my dear masters, my dear gods. Today, we are going to talk about another interesting and very useful topic. Is a deep insight of the breath. Basically, we are going to talk about the science of breath. What does the breath does to our body, to our mind, and to our intellect, and to our soul? Being the meditators and being the followers of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, we have heard about these words a lot, day in and day out. Those are Anapanasati. Ana means incoming breath. Pana means outgoing breath. Sati means be with. Being with ingoing and outgoing breath. This is from Pali language, Anapana Sati, the Pali language word Anapanasati. This was introduced by Buddha and promoted by Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. And in Telugu, Patriji translated that to Swasa Meda Dhyasa. Patriji also told Swasa ni Guru, Swasa is your master. In English, we call this meditation as breath meditation. Also, Patanjali, in his Patanjali Maha Bhagavasutras, he also mentioned about pranayama, controlling the prana. So in all these words, we hear mainly two things. Number one is breath, and number two is prana. One is breath, and number two is prana. We will spend some time to try to know the difference between the prana and the breath. Is there any difference between these two? Or if there is a difference, what is the difference? How can we differentiate between prana and the breath? First, let us talk about breath first. The normal definition of breath is a physical activity of getting the air and letting it out. This is a simple definition of breath. What does normally breath does? Breath takes oxygen in and takes out the waste carbon dioxide out. During this process, breath provides physical energy that is needed for the body. Food is converted into energy because of the oxygen that we breathe in. And breath also gives the mental energy. Breath also enhances our intellectual energy. And breath improves our spiritual energy also. And let us talk a minute, spend a minute to talk about breath and the lifespan. And background. Okay, breath and the lifespan. Is there any relation between the breath and the lifespan? In one of our spiritual texts, it's called as Garuda Purana says, the humans are born with predetermined number of breaths. That means once we complete that many number of births that are predetermined when we are born, and that person going to die after that. So it is not the number of years and how much time a man or woman lives. It is depending upon how many breaths after which human beings die. So Garuda Purana says humans are born with a predetermined number of breaths. That means faster we breathe, faster we complete those breaths, shorter our lifespan is. Slower we breathe less number of breaths per minute or per an hour. Slower we breathe, the longer we live. That's what the Garuda Purana says. Even though this is not scientifically proven, and I have gathered some information to back this statement of Garuda Purana. There are certain animals who have shorter lifespan when compared to certain animals who have longer lifespans. The animals that have the shorter lifespan have faster respiration. They breathe faster, more breaths per minute when compared to the animals who have longer lifespans. The animals who have longer lifespans breathe in a slower way, less number of breaths per minute when compared to the animals that have the shorter lifespan. Take, for example, if we take the dogs and the cats, you always see the dog, how it breathes. Her tongue out and she breathes. The dogs and cats have faster respiration when compared to the elephants and tortoise. So when compared to the elephants and the tortoise, the dogs and cats have shorter lifespans because their respiration is faster when compared to the elephants and tortoise. Elephants and tortoise, they respirate very slowly, less number of breaths per minute. So they have a longer lifespans when compared to the dogs and cats. So in this way, there is one way of saying it is always better to have less number of breaths per minute. And an average person breathes 12 breaths per minute. An average person lives 21,600 breaths per day. That's what, how many breaths a person normally takes per day. This is about the breath and the lifespan. Now let us talk about prana. What is prana? Prana is divine cosmic energy inside our body. Prana is a divine cosmic energy inside our body. That is nothing but a soul energy. What does that prana contains? When prana enters our body, it carries with it all the vasanas of this life or all the vasana of the past life, and it accumulates of the vasanas of the habits of the current life, and also it carries the impurities of ego and arishad vargas like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, masara, and these kind of impurities the prana carries with it. That is prana. And we heard the word pranayama. What does it mean? The pranayama is nothing but cleansing process of the prana with the help of the breath. That is nothing but pranayama. When we take the breath in a proper way that it should be taken, that breath will help in the cleaning process of the prana. What does it clean? All the vasanas of the past life, all the impurities that we gained in this current life, impurities of ego and arishad vargas, that is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, masala, like this. The cleaning process takes place, cleaning process of the prana with the help of the breath that we take in. So what is the relation between breath and the prana? We breathe because we have prana. We don't have prana, then we can't even breathe. So breath is separate and prana is separate. What is prana? Prana is a cosmic pulsation, cosmic energy. It is a soul energy. And breath flows through in physical body by means of inhalation and the exhalation. And what does the breath do? Breath purifies the prana from its impurities, which are nothing but ego and other things I just. So how can we understand the relation between the breath and the prana? If we want to understand this, if we take an example of the fetus, that is a baby inside the womb of the mother. The fetus does not breathe as long as the fetus is inside the mother's womb. It gets its oxygen through the placenta or the umbilical cord of the baby from the mother. That means fetus does not breathe, but fetus have prana. The fetus is a living being inside the mother womb. The fetus has prana, but the fetus does not breathe. That means breath is the different from prana. When does the fetus start breathing? When the breathing starts, when the fetus comes out of the mother's womb. Breathing starts in the newborn right after the birth, that the breathing starts. So svasa or breath starts with the birth and ends with the death. Because fetus does not breathe as long as the fetus is inside the mother's womb. So The day of our first birth is our first breath day. The day of our last breath is our last breath day. So breath is nothing but, in the breath, the word breath, B-R-E-A-T-H, the first two letters is breath, that is related to the birth. And last four letters, E-A-R-E-A-T-H, that is D-E-A-T-H, death. So the svasa goes on from birth to death. Normally we celebrate the birthday that what we are comes out of when we come out of the mother's womb. But being a spiritual practitioners, actually that is not our birthday. That was the only day that we come out of the mother's womb. Even we were born 9 months before we come out of the mother's womb. So that is not our real birthday. So during my 60th birthday, I did myself a note in a poetic format, which I will read it to you, about my birthday introspection. During my birthday introspection, I found out that I have not born. During my birthday introspection, I found out that I have not born. I was told by my parents that today was my birthday. I came out of my mother's womb on this day. I wrote it on my 60th birthday. Is it really my birthday? I have my own question. Was I not there before my birthday on this day? That was my 60th day. Yes, I was living as a fetus in my mother's womb like a meditator, changing my size and appearance day by day like a caterpillar. Came into the world, changing my name, a newborn baby, making my parents and everybody around happy. So, this body actually started its journey 9 months before my birth date. That was the day of my conception, when my father's sperm and my mother's ovum did unite. Was it my birthday then? Was I not there before then? If I was, where was I before that day of conception? I did not fall into my mother's womb directly from heaven on the day of conception. So, the day of my conception is also not my real date of birth. I was there before that day in my father and my mother both. Where did my mother and father came from? They also came from their parents the same way that I came from. If I keep going back, searching for my date of birth, I found out that I was never born on this earth. I found out that I was never born on this earth. I found out that I have always been there from the time immemorial. All I was doing is appearing and disappearing from bodies that look so real. So based upon this, it's not the birthday, our real birthday, the day that we came out of our mother's womb. But we still we need to celebrate that day. But how should we celebrate that day? It is not the birthday, it is the birthday that we need to celebrate. It is our first birthday that we celebrate when we come out of our mother's. Now, our human breath is very, very special. Our human breath is very, very unique. Like No other animal other than the human being have this special tendency. How the human breath is special and how it is unique. That speciality is like this. We can breathe without the awareness of our breathing. Because if we want to eat, we have to open your mouth and we have to take the food with your fingers and you have to put it inside your mouth and you have to swallow, you have to do all that. But to breathe, we don't have to do all this. Even we can breathe without the awareness of our breathing. It's very, very, very unique and special about our human breath. We have three vital organs in our body. That is brain, heart, and the lungs. Brain controls the body functions. Heart beats and circulates the blood to all the human body. Lungs breathe and sends the oxygen to all the parts of the body. But out of these three organs, breath is the only vital mechanism that we can control with our efforts. We can control our breath with our efforts. We cannot control our brain. We cannot control our heartbeat directly. We can't control our brain directly. But we can control our breath directly with our human efforts. That means we can breathe fast if we want to. We can breathe very slow if we want to. Even we can stop breathing also, and even humans can commit suicide by stop breathing also. So the nature has given us this special ability of controlling the breath voluntarily. So nature has given this special ability for some reason. Why? Why the nature or universe has given that special ability that we can control our breath with our efforts, but no other mechanism in our body we can control. Only we can control directly our breath, because it is to purify ourselves. It is to clean ourselves, to live longer as much as time as possible, to attain self-realization, to have moksha, which is the ultimate goal of every human. How this happens? Because breath purifies the prana, I already told you, or our ego, our raga, our dvesha, our arishad vargas like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, masara, all these things breath can purify if we can take the breath in the proper way that we are supposed to take. How does the conscious breathing do? As we have to take the conscious breathing. How does the pranayama work? In what way Anapanasati cleanses our prana? What is the best spiritual practice to get self-realization? What does Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga Sutra say about the breathing? This now we are going to talk about in detail. For any spiritual practice, we have four ways, four margas, or four yogas. Bhakti yoga, karma yoga, gnana yoga, Dhyana Yoga, or Raja Yoga. We have 4 paths to follow: Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. The Dhyana Yoga is also called as Raja Yoga. This is the king of all yogas. Bhakti, Karma, Gnana, Dhyana Yogas. The Dhyana Yoga is called as Raja Yoga. So this is the best way to practice to attain moksha. That is Dhyana, particularly Anapanasati Dhyana Yoga. In my life, I practiced first Bhakti Yoga, taking as my father as my guru when I was child. After I became the devotee of Satya Sai Baba, I practiced Karma Yoga by doing the social service, being a teacher and also a doctor. And after that, after becoming a disciple of Swami Bodhananda Saraswati, and I practiced Gnana Yoga by learning all the scriptures from my guru, Swami Bodhananda Saraswati. After the Gnana Yoga, I have become the follower of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. Then now I am in Dhyana Yoga, Raja Yoga, and I took the proper order. It is my luck. And luckily, I have completed all the yogas from the childhood to now, and I am in Raja Yoga. How this Anapanasati Dhyana, how this breath meditation helps us to clean our body. There are 3 types of cleaning processes takes place because with the breath, when we take the breath in a proper way and with an observational breath, if I breathe in a clean, calm, in observational way when we take the breath, as we should do in Anapanasati, there are 3 types of cleaning that takes place in our body. The first type of cleaning is called as Kosha cleaning. That is called as sheath cleaning. There are 5 types of sheaths that are there in our body. The first one is called Annamaya Kosha. That is made up of flesh, bones, muscles, that is called as Annamaya Kosha. The second sheath is called as Pranamaya Kosha. That is made up of the pranic energy that has come when we are born. That is nothing but the soul energy. The third kosha is called as Manomaya Kosha. That is called as Manomaya sheath. This is nothing but mind energy, mental energy. The fourth sheath is called as Vijnanamaya Kosha, intellectual sheath, where we take the decisions. And the last sheath is called as Anandamaya Kosha, that is nothing but bliss sheath. And we have like this, we are made up of these 5 sheaths. In this context, the most important sheath is Pranamaya Kosha. When we take the breath in Anapanasati Dhyana, when we take the conscious breath without any stress or without any calm taking breath, observation of the breath, then the kosha that will be cleansed with that help of that kind of breath is Pranamaya Kosha. That Pranamaya Kosha is cleansed of its impurities that we already talked about. When the Pranamaya Kosha is cleansed with the help of the incoming air, the effect of the cleansed Pranamaya will fall on the Annamaya Kosha also. They are all side by side. Thereby, you increase your physical energy, and your physical energy will be sanctified, and your health will get increased. And the cleansed Pranamaya Kosha will have effects on Manomaya Kosha also. Thereby, it increases your mental energy. Thereby, you can get the better thoughts when it's compared from the before. And it also affects, as its effects on the Vijnanamaya Kosha, where you will take the decisions more wisely than before. And also the effect of the cleansed Pranamaya Kosha will have its effect on Anandamaya Kosha. Then you will see the moments of bliss more in your life when you practice this Anapanasati Dhyana, and the cleansing of your Pranamaya Kosha takes place with this incoming breath of Anapanasati Dhyana. This is the one type of cleaning that is called Kosha cleaning or sheath cleaning. Those are the 5 sheaths that talk. Again, if anybody wants to note it down, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. These are the 5 sheaths. Out of these 5 sheaths, our Anapanasati Dhyana directly cleanses the Pranamaya Kosha. Then Pranamaya Kosha has its effect of cleansing on the other koshas, where the Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, all those things will be cleansed up indirectly with the help of the Annamaya Kosha. Now, I told you there are 3 cleaning processes that takes place with the breath that we take in Anapanasati Dhyana. The second type of cleaning process is chakra cleansing process. We know there are 7 chakras. First one is Agna Chakra, that is here, and here it is called a Sahasrara, but it's not chakra. It is called as a state. But the first chakra that we talk about, Agna Chakra on the forehead, Visuddha Chakra on the throat, Anahata Chakra at the lung area, and the Manipura Chakra on the stomach area, and the Swadhisthana Chakra on the lower abdomen level, and the Muladhara Chakra at the pelvic level. And this chakra cleansing process takes place with the help of the incoming breath of the Anapanasati Dhyana. Now I will explain how that takes place. When you take the breath through your nostrils, that breath goes above, go to this area, to the tip of the nose, between your 2 eyebrows, and take a backward U-turn and goes down to your throat, and then goes to the trachea and go into the lungs. That is how the incoming, the Ana air goes in Anapanasati Dhyana. So when it goes above into the nostrils, the first chakra that it touches is Agna Chakra. It activates, it cleanses the Agna Chakra. when the incoming breath is taken in Anapanasati Dhyana by observation. After that, the breath will take the U-turn and comes through the trachea, where the Visuddha Chakra will be there in the thought process. Then the cleansing process of the Visuddha Chakra takes place here when the breath goes down and prana, earth goes down to the lungs. And finally, it reaches the lungs area where the Anahata Chakra will be there at the lung area. Then it cleanses the Anahata Chakra in the lung area. After cleansing the lung area, the Anahata Chakra, from the lungs, the air, the gaseous exchange takes place. The oxygen in the lungs comes out of the lungs in the blood vessels that are present at the bottom of the lungs, and it diffuses down through the blood vessels in the lower part of the abdomen. During its process, first it cleanses the Manipura chakra in the stomach area. Then it goes down and it cleanses the Swadhisthana chakra, which is present at the lower abdomen. Finally, it cleanses the Mooladhara chakra, and which is there in pelvis. And as you do this, it goes down and the Kundalini activation takes place. And from this chakras clearing process took place, then the Kundalini energy will go up through this cleansed chakras. They go through the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Visuddha, Agna Chakra, and finally it reaches the Sahasrara, where we get salvation. For this ascending process of the Kundalini energy to place, first there should be a chakra cleaning to take place from the downward journey. That process will be taken care of by the incoming breath of the Anapanasati Dhyana. It's how the chakra cleansing takes place in Anapanasati Dhyana with the help of the incoming breath. Now, we will talk about the third process of the cleaning. That is nothing but prana cleaning. This is called prana cleaning, vital energy cleaning. Actually, the prana is divided into 4 upapranas, 4 subtypes of vital energies. They are called as, first one is also called as prana, and second one is called samana, and third one is called as udana, and fourth one is called apana, and the fifth one is called as vyana. These words we might have heard when we go to temple. When the pujari offers Naivedya to the deity and he chants these mantras, Prana Swaha, Samana Swaha, Udana Swaha, Vyana Swaha, Apana Swaha, like that with these mantras he uses. There we might have heard these different 5 subtypes of the vital energies. Each vital energy provides a prana to the one particular type of organs in the body. There are 5 types of different organs are there in body. One type of organs functions in a vertical level. the function of that organs takes place, the energy goes up, down, up, down. The same organ, the energy goes up and down. The examples of these organs are nose. The air goes up and down. The lungs, the air goes up and down. Heart, the blood goes up and down. The kidney, the water goes up and down. These are the organs where they work using the energy that goes up and down. The energy that is used by these organs called as prana. Second type of energy is called samana. There are certain organs in our body which work in horizontally. We talked about vertically up and down. Now we are talking about horizontal. There are certain organs which work in our body and lie in the horizontal plane and they work. The example are our pancreas is like this. Our liver stays like this across the abdomen. Our intestines are like this. So these are all the horizontal ones. The energy that is used by vital energies that are used by these particular organs are called as samana. This is called a second type of prana, vital energy. The third vital energy, subtype of energy, is called as udana. So they use the energy, there's an organ where the energy flows takes place only in the upside, upper air, only vertically up. The prana we do the down and up. In the udana, it goes only to the upwards or the downwards, only one way. The example of that organ is our throat. There will be voice box when we talk, it only comes up. Or your brain, these are the vertically up. So the energy that are used, the vital energy or prana that are used by these organs are called udana. Now, apana. Now, there are certain organs which use their energy and they function only in the downward trend. There are nothing but excretory organs, mala, mutra, dwaras, excretory organs. And the energy that is vital energy that is used by these excretory organs which function in the downward level, that the energy is called as apana. And the last one, vyana. This is called as the radiational energy. It is a preservational energy and it will energize the rest of the whole radiation point of energy and around it circles, it goes circles to the all other organs of the body. It is called as vyana. So when we take the breath in, it cleanses all these 5 upapranas, prana, samana, udana, apana, vyana. It cleanses complete all the physical structures, vital energy. Like this, when we take the breath in Anapanasati Dhyana, it cleanses the 5 koshas, 5 sheaths of our body. It cleanses all the chakras. It cleanses all the physical organs in our body. And this type of holistic cleansing process takes place with the help of the incoming breath of the Anapanasati in Anapanasati. Now, lastly, I would like to talk about Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga practice. The very interesting thing is, Even though Patanjali does not talk, our Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji does not talk about Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga practice. When he explains how we should lead our life and practice, do the Anapanasati meditation, he indirectly explains us to follow the 8 limbs of Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga practice. This is my observation. So without knowing, being the strong followers of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, we are following Ashtanga Yoga practice of the Patanjali. The 8 limbs of Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga practice are these. Number 1 is Yama. Number 2 is Niyama. 3 is Asana. 4 is Pranayama. Pratyahara, Dharana, and then we have Dhyana and Samadhi. What is Yama? Yama means ethical guidelines. Yama means ethical guidelines. And there are so many ethical guidelines. But Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji mentioned about one ethical guideline, which is nothing but the Yama of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. That is nothing but non-violence. That is nothing but Sakahara. Ethical guidelines a Anapanasati meditator should follow. That is non-violence, Sakahara, Jagat. That's what we say. Second one is called as Niyama. That is self-discipline. That is the second limb of Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga practice, second limb. That is called a Niyama. That is Niyama means self-discipline. The Niyama part of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji guideline in the Anapanasati Dhyana is Swadhyaya and Sajjana Sangatya. These are the discipline. Niyama means self-discipline. We should have the self-discipline of reading at least 10 pages a day, 1 book a month, at least 12 books a year, like a Swadhyaya. Or Sajjana Sangatya, that's what we do once a week. And these are nothing but the Niyama, self-discipline we all follow, being the followers of Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. There is Yama and Niyama. The third one is of Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga practice is asana. When we sit for the meditation, we sit in sthira sukha asana. We sit the cross-legged and hands in, and if we put in mudra, that is called as, the mudra that we put in this is called as dhyana mudra. And we put in asana, that is nothing but sthira sukha asana that we do. Then the fourth limb of practice is pranayama. That is nothing but normal, unpressured, relaxed breathing is nothing but pranayama. That's what we do after you take the asana, sthira sukhasana posture. We do the pranayama. That means we breathe unpressured, relaxed breathing. We start doing that without any hurry. Next one, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. 4. The fifth one is pratyahara. Pratyahara, according to the Patanjali, is the withdrawal of the senses. But in Anapanasati Dhyana, we close the eyes. The Gnanendriya, Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. That means if we close your eyes, we did the major part of withdrawal of the senses. We close the eyes. It is Gnanendriyas. We clasp our fingers, we interlock our fingers. So we are withdrawing our karmendriyas by clasping interlocking our fingers. This is nothing but pratyahara that we are doing, withdrawing our senses by means of closing the eyes and interlocking the fingers. Then the sixth one of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 8 limbs are dharana. Dharana means what? Constant observation of something. Here we do the constant observation of the breath that we are doing. That is nothing but Anapanasati part. That is called dharana. That is called the sixth limb of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Then we do that. The seventh one is called as dhyana. When we observe that the stillness of the mind takes place, when you observe your breath constantly, this is where we call that situation is called as dhyana. When you go deep inside the stillness of the mind, then you feel and you see the ultimate union with the self. If you constantly practice, that last one is called Samadhi, which is the ultimate goal of our Anapanasati meditation. This is how the breath that we take in during Anapanasati meditation helps us to clean ourselves in multiple ways, like Kosha cleaning and like Chakra cleaning, then physical cleaning, and also by following the 8 steps of Patanjali Yoga Niyamas. And finally, this Anapanasati leads us to attain the Samadhi, thereby even we can go and get into the self-realization state and also to the moksha state. There, our Guru, Brahmashi Pitamaha Patiji, reached, and by practice his teachings, and by practice his directions, by practicing his dhyana that he explained to all of us, we also can reach where Patriji reached, certainly without any fail. Thank you. Now I will take any questions.